Oh, ladies, gentlemen, gamers, and fellow Tower of God lovers and haters and anime enjoyers, welcome back. We are here once again to review another week of the anime adaptation of Season 2 of Tower of God Season 2, anime form. So, I have with me here my compatriot in crime, the hairline.
Yo.
So the hairline. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
I'll let you go first.
Okay. So I'll keep this short and sweet here. I'll
Mm-hmm.
kind of just keep it as the usual. At this point, we're 18 episodes in, right? And a lot of stuff gets repeated. Sometimes I get a little emotional. I get a little passionate about what I'm talking about, and it's basically just the same thing. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I know this. Everyone knows this. I think the copium is fully dead. Like there's no like I will be shocked if they actually do something good at this point in the future, especially with some of the big fights coming along. But in terms of this episode, it was really whatever. I think the best part, honestly, of watching it was watching it with you, and the fact that you said one of the people was Mundo. I
Yeah.
think seeing hearing what little reactions we have while we're watching it, like right here, this fucking guy right here. Oh my god, like hearing your reaction, just like seeing things, and I'm more interested in the other things around this more than the episode itself. And it's the same old, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
the quality is just not there. I think with the beginning here too, and Adrian might go into this as well. I think the beginning they changed stuff around. At the very least, they changed the order of things. At the very most, I think they've added new things in, which can be good, as I often say. Most of the time, in Tower of God's case, sometimes it isn't. But like the episode is just well within expectations, and that's not good, right? It's not good that's in expectations. It was a heavy, heavy for what we're used to fighting episode. There was a lot of action here because we're in the middle of the tournament. And man, some of these were just rough, man. Some of these were like you could tell like it's not an action anime, man. Like it's not as bad as Blue Lock, thankfully. Blue Lock animation is way worse. But it's just sad in 2024 we have to deal with this for Tower of God of all things. I feel like just sadly Tower of God gets shafted. And again, it's more things of what I've said before. The anime itself just looks lower quality. Obviously, sometimes the eyes aren't positioned, but even with just how the characters look, and I've showed this before and we'll show it again here, with how Chang looks, with how Ran looks, the manga counterpart looks way more unique, way more detailed, and just overall better. The fights were fucking terrible. I think that they go through things kind of too quickly, where I really am trying my hardest to see it from an anime only watcher's perspective. I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand how people can like this, but again, I just can't not see the manga when I see this or the manhwa when I see this. So it's like even if you're an anime watcher, if you've seen other anime, it just doesn't look like good. It doesn't look detailed. It looks lazy. Like oh my god, there's times where it's all right, but most of the times it's just not. But in terms of the story, again, it's story carried. It's Tower God. It's pretty decent. What happened here was pretty nice. I think it did deepen the bonds, and unlike the other episodes where I really glazed the music, I think the music only one time caught my ear this time, which is still okay, but nothing to write home about. This was just like in my eyes, a not necessarily a forgettable episode, but an episode where it's like I just noticed all the bad quality stuff, and if I was to look forward to anything, I'm looking forward to just how the story unfolds in the next episode. Definitely not the fights, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just it is what it is at that point. At this point and going forward, I'm pretty sure I'll just keep saying the same thing. It is what it is. But that's basically it for me. I'm not happy, but I've come to expect that, and I'm fully within expectations.
Yep.
So, what do you think, Adrian?
Yeah, I agree with a lot with what you had to say. I'm gonna dig a little bit more into the nitty gritty of this episode, just be a bit more detailed since you got over the general stuff of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with a lot with what you said. This was kind of like a boring episode. Just and it didn't have to be boring, is what I'm thinking. Because obviously this episode is set up for the Anak v Ran, as you see in the ending, where they're trying to make a big setup there. This whole workshop battle thing where we have all these groups fighting. None of it really mattered in terms of like how the anime portrays it, except for the part where Anak and Ran show up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Well,
I don't think, yeah,
I was gonna say, to be fair, they also did kind of
and
slightly more
the
introduce Vargarv here.
and Vargarv, yep, they did introduce Vargarv, and they did the Missang fight, which they paid some attention to. So what I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
is, this whole fight thing, although it was a very simple fight, they could have put more effort to make it a bit more interesting. And I think another thing they could have done is kind of emphasize that it's not only the people fighting, but it's also the team leaders betting
Betting
on who
against each
wins
other.
each fight. They kind of brushed on it very quickly, but I feel like as an anime only, they might not be paying attention to that stuff because they paid so little attention to it. They paid so little time showing like how the betting was going on. Like they showed the angel lady like happy, and then the other guy sad because like he probably lost all of his points. Whatever.
Yeah, I have a question about this actually.
Mm-hmm.
So since last week, obviously you weren't here last week because you were on vacation. Welcome
Mm-hmm.
back from vacation, by the way.
Yep.
Everyone send your well wishes to Adrian. But did you see my reaction to the episode?
I did. Yeah, it wasn't very positive.
And did you see the manhwa comparison though?
Yes.
So the
I
big
saw bits and
thing,
parts. I didn't see the whole thing.
yeah, the big thing of what you're saying that's very evident, at least from last episode, and obviously we'll compare it soon here with the source
Mm-hmm.
material, but they really did not show the betters. Like in the manhwa, they show them. They show like them interacting a little bit. They show who they are and stuff. In
Mm-hmm.
this, they just completely skip over. And by this, I mean last week's one. I'm pretty sure they're doing it for this one too. They're just completely
Yeah,
glossing over like
they're
the
running
whole
through a lot of
boss
stuff.
thing. Yeah. Which like
Uh,
even with the fucking like combat, like I'm still confused as to the rules of the thing, but it doesn't even matter. They
yeah.
just got to stick it in the hole. But the big
Mm-hmm.
thing that you mentioned though with the betting and stuff, how they like barely show it, it's a
Mm-hmm.
thing that is proven from last episode. They are skipping that kind of.
Yeah, and that would help for people keeping track and like viewers to like kind of understand like the bigger picture of what's going on and not just like focusing on what's in front of them. Because Tower of God often has like a lot of things going on at the same time, which makes it easier to read and harder to enjoy in like an anime format. But this is something that is like unrelated to animation quality that they could like do more with, I think.
Storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. So, and back to storytelling, we could talk a little bit about the missing thing.
Oh
I think
yes.
they added some scenes because I don't believe this flashback of how Missing put on the flower is in the manhwa. I might be wrong. We're gonna check it out. Um, Probably the only positive, maybe the only positive I liked about this thing is kind of how they did Verdi with the whole situation, how they kind of portrayed her and how she came up at the end. Like she was never really like malicious in any way. She's just kind of a weirdo.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's just crazy. Like she never meant anything bad for any of them. Um, so yeah, it's just a weird sort of thing, but I think it's a neat thing, and it kind of shows how like a lot of the characters in Tower of God are just like their own people. So I think that was a slight positive
Hmm.
in a sea of negatives, but you know how it is. I'm looking for like whenever I see a bunch of bad stuff, I want to look for the one thing that maybe stands out. So that was it for me.
Wow,
The
just
missing fight was
Verdi.
done very poorly. I'd like to say I when
Uh
when I read this the first time, I thought this was crazy seeing missing come out like that. Like I was really excited. Like what the hell? Like it was a shock. And this was, I mean, Tower of God, like uh the art style wasn't like crazy around this point either. So it's like it was something that would have looked a lot cooler animated properly. Fortunately, that's not the case, but it is what it is.
I think this part's one of
Um,
the worst ones here. Let me see if this is it.
yeah, where like missing takes a swing at all of them.
Yeah, look, I think this is it. Okay, well they're just like showing off like them moving, but man,
Yeah,
this one was rough, man. I mean, they
it was
all are
bad.
rough, but
Yeah, the
oh
action
man.
was really rough to watch.
Let me see. Because there was a point where like they were fighting each other. And I was like, what even is this?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just really slow. And we've said this before. Like, look at this shit. Like it's just really really slow. Like okay, Wang Lan's
Mm-hmm.
holding there. He's just kind of floating.
Yeah.
Boom.
A thing they could have done that would have been neat is showing like more Shinsu enhancement from Missang's side, which they showed in season one. Whenever Anak used Shinsu enhancement, like when she was fighting in Dorsey for the beginning, you kind of saw the Shinsu flowing around her legs or her arms or whenever she did something. That would have been
Mm.
cool to show Missing because what Missing is doing, and the reason why she's so strong is not just like some random thing. She's actually using
Oh,
Shinsu.
right here. It's right
Oh
here.
yeah, here's the scene. Yeah, this is the hard to watch
What
sweating
is
mid
that?
swinging.
Like,
Yeah,
like
that's
right here,
almost
Arc Raptor's face doesn't even change.
yeah. Like this is almost Blue Lock. The only thing that's saving is the fact that their hair is moving too. Like if this was Blue Lock, the hair wouldn't be moving,
It would
and
just
it
be
would look exactly the same.
static.
Yeah.
Like some of these
So
look like really goofy too. Like the lightning here looks higher quality than everything else because it's Shinsu, obviously. I think,
hmm
or maybe it's not. I don't even know. Like some of this shit just looks so goofy and so low quality, man. Oh my
yeah.
god.
And I think what it comes down to is like, ignoring all like the animation issues because we've seen in the past that they've had like episodes that are kind of like more coherent and easy to understand, especially like the episodes that have no combat in them. This
Hmm.
episode just felt rushed. Like it had combat, and it had like a lot of other stuff going on. Like we had Hots being released from prison, stuff like that. But it felt like everything happened so fast that it's like it's hard for an anime only to really pay attention to what's going on and like pick up the pieces. Because if this episode was truly just to be set up, it didn't even do a good job at that. I feel like because like I feel like I
The
didn't really
setup was
get
right
much
in
out of
the
this
end.
episode, except for yeah maybe right at the end. But it's like I don't know. It felt too fast for me to like pay attention to what's going on. Um, like you said, like you kind of have to put yourself in the perspective of like an anime only and how they would experience it. And if I put myself in that perspective, I feel like I would be a little confused maybe with how fast things are going and how
Yeah.
strange it is. Like it's just one thing after another.
Like
I don't know, with
this
very
is
little
the
explanations in between.
yeah, this is the only thing I think that looked kind of good is when Bomb used Shinsu. I don't know why this one looked so good, but I
hmm
think this one looked really nice. But that,
Yeah,
like that. Okay, 1 second. Cool.
yeah. And the sad thing is that the Shinsu never really got to the point where it looked, on par with season one Shinsu. Season one Shinsu really felt like water. It kind of flowed a lot better. Season two is kind of lacking, I think.
There we go.
Yeah, there's
This was
Endorsey. I
another
guess
great
I
part
guess
of the
that's another
episode.
positive. Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, I guess we can give another +1 for that because I'm sure this won't be in the the manhwa or something like that, the specific scene.
We'll
But yeah, I
see.
think
You
that's
know,
it for me. Yeah, it's
like
just rushed. They could have done better, even if it's a setup episode. They could have made it more interesting. They didn't, and they made it hard to understand the grand scheme of what's going on. They're just trying to get to the next episode. Like it's almost like they didn't even want this episode to exist. They just wanted to get past. That's
it.
how it felt like to me.
Yeah,
And this is after scaling everything down and like because
expecting
like
the
obviously
worst.
every single episode is taken with a grain of salt because we're judging it on a curve because all the episodes have the same fundamental issues.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thinking story wise it's not very coherent. It's kind of hard to understand. Things are rushed. Oh, I forgot to mention one more thing. There are a lot of scenes that are like just awkward too, but I guess this kind of relates to their animation quality, specifically when Horiang was peeking to see if Missang was okay.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
His wing pops up for literally a frame.
So rushed.
So we had to go
So
frame by
rushed.
frame to see if he was actually there to like when Wang Nam was like Horiang question mark like
Yeah. Let me see. It's right
yeah,
here.
let's see if we can find
So
it. You have to go frame by frame.
here we go. I'm gonna have to like pause a lot. Here we go.
Yeah, you could play it just normally and just see if like anyone notices it. I think you have to go further back.
Oh, yeah, I think I missed it.
hmm
So wait, no. Wait,
Right here
yeah, no.
maybe.
What the hell? When does he see fucking Horiang here? I think it
I
was
think
right
it was
here.
right
It was
there.
right here.
Okay, let's
Wait,
see.
no. I think I
No, no,
missed
you
it.
skipped it again. Yeah, I think we just
Here
gotta
it
go
is.
back
Here
and
it
just
is.
let it
It's right
play. Okay,
here.
yeah, there you go. All right, yep.
Like
You see that
at
for like
first,
literally
when this
yeah.
happened, at first I was like, "Wait, Adrian, did you see Horiang
I
there?"
did not see it the first
Yeah, and
time.
Adrian was like, "No," and I was like, "Wait, so how the fuck did Wong Nan see him?" Right? This is
hmm
where like, bro, they're really trying to like skimp out on the seconds at this point. Like,
Yeah, it's such a rush scene. Yeah, they're really like squeezing as much as they can into these episodes.
like
And on top of like
that's as
their
much
like
as you see of Horiang, right
yeah.
there on the bare ass left. Wong Nan doesn't see it. Like, how does he even see it? He says like, "Oh shit, it's Horiang." How do you know? You didn't see it, you fuck. Like
hmm
what? Like, did he hear his heavy ass footsteps? Maybe I don't know. Oh my god, it's so bad, man. It's so bad, and
Yeah.
it makes me so upset because it could be so good. And I forgot if it was you who was saying this. I think it was, but we have all these other like no name nonsense anime out there that are getting
Mm-hmm.
animated for no reason, and they have good animation studios, and it's
Yeah.
like, bro, what the fuck? Like, this
Mm-hmm.
isn't even season 1. This is season 2 of Tower of God, and it got like somehow worse. Like, are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
I guess Blue Lock could argue the same thing too, right? Like all the Blue Lock fans are probably feeling the same way that we are right now, where it's like, Blue Lock season one popped off, right? Like people were really hot hype for it, and then like season two comes out, it's just like, what is this garbage?
Yeah, maybe they think
Like,
like, oh, because it's established, like we could just treat it like shit or something. Oh
yeah,
my god.
sad.
But anyway, to kind of surmise, I think just kind of I think what we're feeling here. I
Mm-hmm.
think basically we're Gordon Ramsay and this is raw food and we're not happy.
Mm-hmm.
We're very not happy.
Yep.
But
So,
yeah, I guess now we'll move on to the manhwa comparison. So
mm-hmm.
to kind of pick up where we left off, which is a little hard because they like to move things around. This is the last thing I remember they showed in the last episodes. This is where we'll pick up from the manhwa. Here we see Missang very,
Mm-hmm.
demonic, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm
right
curious to
here,
see.
what
Yeah.
happened? What were you
I
gonna
was just
say?
gonna say I'm curious to see if they show the flashback similar to how we saw
I
in
was gonna
the
say that.
anime, because
I,
I don't know if that was a
yeah.
thing.
So I was gonna say at this point in time in the manhwa too, we don't know how like she's getting the power. We don't know anything. So let's
Mm.
see if they explain it the same way the anime does in the same order. So in the anime, we start off the episode with her basically and Prince showing how they got it. Here
Mm-hmm.
we're starting off with all of them going, and Missing's like, oh shit, right? This just looks like it has so much more energy. Like it looks like, oh
Mm-hmm.
shit, she's about to get the shit beat out of her. And then you see, wait a minute, this is something that would never happen in the anime. She's moving so fast, she's blurring, right? And then look, she beats the fucking
Yeah,
shit out
look
of
at the
this guy,
contact too. They
br-
show it.
breaking his glasses, right? The other guy's about to get smacked too. Everyone's like, what the fuck? And then they just get like flown out in different directions. Like, are you kidding
Yeah.
me? And
The
here
hit looked
you're
more
like,
meaty too. Like that shit looked
yeah,
like it hit hard.
like oh my god, like the stuff they do in the anime has no impact. Here it's like, oh shit. So obviously Misang did them out. Here we could see, everyone's saying she's the weakest, but oh no, she's actually the strongest, right?
Look, I want to scroll up a little bit to where they see Kun and Shibisu. Like, look, they kind of go back to the people up top talking about their game as well, because remember, this game is like a two-tiered sort of thing where
Yeah.
there's the people on the field and there's the people betting as well,
I
where they
think we
don't.
saw this though. We did
Yeah,
see
but they
this.
they say very little about it. I think. Yeah. What did he say? Did he say anything?
This game is mine.
Yeah.
So we
Like, come
don't get
on.
his inner monologue here.
Exactly. Like we're missing so much.
Like they
We're
got the
missing
last
a whole
sentence
half of
here.
the game.
Oh my
Anyways.
god! But we do get Coon's thing too. Like they do bring it in, right? Like Coon's like, oh, what did she do, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like there's just more here. There's just
Mm-hmm.
more.
Yeah.
But either way, one thing I forgot to mention, right? It's just inconsistencies here. Where last episode, right, we saw Prince come out and we saw him fucked up. In
Yeah.
this one, Prince is here and he's completely fine. Like
Yeah. Did
all the
they
bruises or
after
whatever
up in the
disappeared.
manhwa?
No,
They
look,
might
he's
have
still
oh yeah,
bruised.
he's still bruised. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here, he's still fucked up, and then we're
Oh, here's the
seeing,
flashback.
yeah, we're seeing the flashback. Oh my god, Verdi's so cute, man. I love Verdi. You can see it's a little bit different though. Like it's a little bit lower quality to what's usually in the manhwa, but it works because they're trying to be
Hmm.
cutesy.
I actually liked how they did them chibi, like
Yeah.
when they were yelling, Missing and Prince, like
Oh, in
that
the
scene where
anime,
they. Yeah, in the anime, they made them chibi when they were yelling at each other, like, "Oh, we're not a couple or whatever."
yeah, when they were in the bed, it was like
Yeah,
right there.
right there. Yeah, you had it.
Yeah.
Yep, that looks pretty good. I don't know how they do it, but those scenes just look good to me. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
I think
know.
it's hard to fuck up. But here we have creepy
Hmm.
Verdi. Here they're like, oh shit, right? She's like, oh, put on the flowers. And we're seeing it from other people's perspective, right? Wait, this is like I think that's Shibisu and
Shibisu. Yeah,
Vespa,
and Vespa. Yeah.
and you see like oh, even they know like she's crazy, but again, you're getting more and more context, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here you could see like she didn't really put it on like we saw in the anime. We're just kind of left with the implication, and then Prince is checking up on her, and what happens? Boom, he's getting fucked up. Like oh my god, and then you see here it's a lot more comedic here than anything
Mm-hmm.
else. It's like you just see him fucked up. You see the after effect. Here you see this poor guy just getting swung out of the place. Now, this is where again, right?
Mm-hmm.
I might get a little flack for this, but at some points in the manhwa, I do think like they, the art does isn't like up to super standards
Sure. Yeah.
because it does fluctuate. But like right here, right, this is obviously meant to be comedic, but you could tell there's like not a lot of details here either. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like for here it works. Number one, because it's in written format, but number two, because it's not like a great big drop when it's in the forefront, unlike here, right? Like here, even when things are in the forefront, there's like missing details. Now, overall, you see with the background too, there's a lot more background detail like that, but these things don't necessarily matter. Oh my god, there was a part too I remember with Arc Raptor where his face just looked so terrible, and I forgot where it was. I was laughing at it. There was so many times I was laughing in this episode, but not because things were good, like not
Mm-hmm.
because it was funny, because it was sad. But regardless, right? Like here, it's a little bit more blurry, and then in the anime there's a lot more consistency in the wrong places. Like we see, the background is a little bit more detailed than the manhwa, but it doesn't matter, and that's the sad part.
Yeah, it doesn't make up for like how much they're missing here. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Also, I
here,
like to note that the commentators are also talking too, while like she's hitting people, like saying home run and stuff like that, while he's
yeah.
like knocking people out. So it's like a bit more animated. There's like more. It's weird because it's just an image, but it feels like there's more going on in the manhwa.
They also had the Barry Bonds reference here too. They had
Yeah,
more of what
like
the
there's
commentators
just
said.
more detail, like you said.
Always. That's the name of the game, more detail. So here, Prince looks actually fucked up, like he didn't take a sensu bean and recovered, right? He looks like he's like, oh my god. So here, Arc Raptor's giving him the pep talk. He obviously still hasn't recovered, unlike magically in the anime he did. And he's like, you know what? Fine, I'll fucking handle her. And look at this shit. Like you see the after effects of what she's doing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh my god, we have to face
Yeah,
this
this panel looks
animal.
so good too.
Yeah, like in the anime, I don't know. There was times where like after they kept showing missing, I thought it just looked goofy. Like at a certain point, I was like, this just looks like comical. It was really just not good, man. Like it was just
Mm-hmm.
not good. But either way, so they're going. He's doing the lighthouse. He's trying to trap her, and she's like, no. Like look at this shit. This shit looks so much cooler. Like it's going everywhere. It's splintering. The colors are crazy. In the anime it was just straight up purple. Like, it wasn't too far off, but these things matter. So it was like right here where he did it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, cool. But look at this. Compare this to this. It's like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Prince looks like he's like old, like years were shaved off his life. Wong on here looks a lot better going in, like we
Yeah,
saw
he's
in
like
the
trying to
anime.
save him.
Yeah, you can see like his hair is pushed back, he's going so fast, and then Missing's like, no, right? She's here. She's about to beat the shit out of him. And then look, he gets through to her, right? Yo, cut the crap. Like he's fucking like actually emotional. And look, he actually blocked it in this shit. In the anime,
Mm-hmm.
they actually changed it. She didn't even hit him. Like, look at this shit. He's bleeding like. Oh wait, no, he's not bleeding. Well, Wong Na's the one bleeding, but he actually blocked it, right? And then look, he's making fun of her, and now she's getting really angry. Oh no, this is where he blocks it. This, and that, and Arcrafter gets it. So they kind of changed the fight here, didn't they?
Yeah, they
But she
also
broke
spent
the
way too
line.
much time with like they spent way too much time with Prince holding her with the reel. Like I felt
Yeah.
like that looked really unrealistic. Like if they want to save time, man, like why did they hold that for so long?
Yeah, if
Like
they
they were
want to,
struggling for like 10 seconds there.
like, bruh, they could have put that time to, like, showing Yang in the hallway. Like, come on.
Yeah. It made it look like Arcraft was taking his sweet time getting there to remove the flower.
Yeah, everything moves slow in the anime. But the one thing I will say that I like that the anime did was all they did was they copied the source material. I think this moment is really good. It's one of the few good moments in the anime that, again, animation doesn't really matter here. It's storytelling. And it
Mm-hmm.
shows that Missing and like Prince, like they care for each other. Like, they
Mm-hmm.
like each other. Not in that way, obviously, as we saw in the beginning, but
Yeah.
Missing is scared. She's obviously a little girl, and Prince is like, oh, don't worry, like I got you.
Yeah. And that they feel bad that they're like probably two of the weaker people, especially Missing feels bad about it.
Oh yeah,
That they're like weighing the team down.
yeah, and Prince kind of hit on that too.
Mm-hmm.
So here we could see the next fight is coming up, and again, we're getting a lot more detail about Prince just shouting
Yeah.
it at
More in
Viol
between.
here. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
more in between. Before it was just Wongnan. Here, Wongnan doesn't really say shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's more just Prince. So here we see Vargarv coming in. They did show this in the anime. Then we're gonna go to the next chapter. I believe we only have like 2 more chapters. So here they're in the room, right? Let's see if they actually show excuse me, if they actually show Horyang here. So here Verdi's visiting, she's telling them how it is. Oh look, like here it's way more obvious. So they tried to copy it one for one, but they didn't know how to do it right. So they did it in like 0.1 microseconds.
Yeah.
It's like here I could kind of tell it's Horyang. In the anime, it's like you have to have like super fast reflexes. Like what the hell? So
Hmm.
here, Missang or not Missang, sorry, Gosang is getting more dialogue here than she did in the anime. And then we go to the fight, hopefully. Yep, here's the fight. They say the whole shit. They did say this in the anime, but oh look, we're getting like more about Gosang. Yo, the anime does not care about Gosang, man. Like we
Yeah.
didn't
So in
hear any of
between.
this. Yeah. So we saw
Hmm.
this part. They actually put less in the anime than here, right? We actually see the Buddha guy too. They're all betting.
Yep. They have a focus on the bet, which they do literally nothing about. Oh,
Yeah,
look, we have Mundo.
here we have Mundo. Sadly, in the anime, we just see the end result of what happens to Mundo here, how he's on like drugs. And we see. So I saw this shit. I don't know if I can find it. I'm gonna try and find it really quickly here, but there was a point where they're showing everyone fighting right here. It's right here, right? This guy on the right, they were so lazy. Like, we don't even see what he's fighting. He's swinging at
Yeah.
nothing. Like, that's how lazy they were. Here, you actually get to see, like, fights happening. And look at this shit. Like, I don't know if it's being, well, it's obviously, I think, being streaked on her, but, like, bro, it's getting on her fucking glasses. Like, look at this shit. You actually feel like there's violence happening, not whatever the fuck this garbage is. Like,
Hmm.
what is this? Oh my god. But here, she's like, oh shit, right? And then look, Horyang is like, no, way more epic. Look, and it even says like, oh, about to cry, right? So she said like, oh, my knees are here. And here we get Chang, and as always, as I always say, he looks way more serious, way more like gritty in the anime, or sorry, in the manhwa. In the anime, he just looks like a fucking like young guy who's like a kid. Let's see if we see him here.
Hmm.
Like, look, here he comes. Like he looks so different, but not in a good way. Like it's passable. It's better than nothing. Like again, he does have like decent detail, but he looks young. Here he looks old and grizzled. Like I'm scared of him here. Here I'm like, oh, he's probably gonna sell me Boy Scout cookies or something. It's so stupid. But here he
Hmm.
looks like a fucking man. Then we see
Different outfit
Quietro.
too.
Yeah, different outfit as always. They don't
Which
want to
never
change
happens.
outfits. Yep. I actually don't mind him having this outfit though. I think this is actually better than his one here. Here it's
Yeah,
just like a
that's
plain
fair.
shirt. I actually don't mind that. But it's mostly a negative in most other instances. Here we have Quattro being crazy. He's burning them. They're like running off. In the anime, I think this was done absolutely fucking terribly.
Yeah, you barely get to see Quattro like lighting stuff on fire.
I thought, well,
Like, look,
number
they're already on
one,
fire.
yeah, number one, he looks way less detailed in the face and everything, similar to Varagarv, which we'll get to. But I
Hmm.
thought these people were just running and the flames were right next to him. I didn't think they were on fire at a certain point.
Yeah, me neither. Actually, when I first saw it.
And then I'm like, oh, they are on fire. But
Yeah.
here we see like the background is on fire. The flames look kind of cool. They're really dark crimson red, and we see he's crazy. Like this looks
Hmm.
so
And
much
we get some
better.
background information too. You see the commentators are talking about how he's like a son of the Blitz family.
More details, yeah,
More details
as
that you get from
always.
like the commentators.
Yeah, and then here we get the interaction with
Hmm.
Yiwa and him.
Yeah, they're both wearing different clothes, by the way, which isn't in the anime because they can't animate that.
Like, look at how bad this looks. This looks like something you would see like maybe from like a college student. Like, oh my god! Every time I see this, oh god. So yeah, different clothes. They're
Yeah, Yeon has her
interacting.
hair up too. It's just like little details like that where like they change their appearance. Why not show it? Like
Oh, she
why?
does. Yeah.
What's so wrong with like
Well, it's
not
work.
following?
They got to reuse some
Yeah,
animations probably.
it's just lazy.
So here we see Vargarv coming in. Very cool, very much aura. No one wants to fuck with him. Oh shit, right? Then we see a knock. This was done pretty similarly. It's pretty
Hmm.
1-to-1 here.
Dude, and Dorsa looks so much better in the thing too.
And door. Here we'll see her here. They like hold these things for so long, man. I swear.
Yeah,
This
they're
looks
trying to
so
save
much
time.
worse. Oh my
They
god.
they try to save time skipping so many things that are like essential, and then they slow down the things that don't matter.
Yeah.
It's so poorly managed.
like they show off Vargarv here, and it's not too detailed, and they're not even doing it the right way. Because here he had the shadow on his head.
Mm-hmm.
Here you see it a little bit. You see his face. Here it's just
Yeah.
like okay, whatever. And again, he just looks less detailed, less aura. It's
No aura.
terrible,
Yeah.
man. We have the lovely Anak here. Like, look at this shit. The eyes are unaligned as well, right here with Ren. Ren looks goofy as shit. Ren here looks cool.
Yeah.
And,
They
you know,
have like lighting there too with
yeah, the
shadows.
lighting. Like, how
Yeah.
are you getting the lighting right in the manhwa and not in the anime? But here, he's telling him some advice, never fight against him. We never got that in the anime either. And then this guy comes in. This guy's like, yeah, I want to challenge you, right? And this is where, Vargarv does say kind of something different here, but it could be a translation error. Who knows, right? It could be just
Mm-hmm.
mistranslation. But he basically says,
Fine.
don't do it, right? Here, similar with Quattro, we see like more of a background here where it emphasizes anger, it emphasizes emotion. Anime, we get none of that. So here he's going to try and beat him, right? He says, "Oh, you're just a dog," right? Another detail we didn't get. And then
Mm-hmm.
here it's like, "Oh shit," right? What happened? Boom.
Yeah.
In the anime, I was a little shocked. It was quick, but let's see if I could grab it right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he calls him a mongrel again. Translation issue right there. I actually think it wasn't done terribly, especially
Yeah.
because they had the little frame in the beginning showing like, oh, what it was. In the manhwa, it was very very quick actually. So here we could see it right. That actually
Yeah.
was not bad. I actually don't
If they
mind
want to
that
show
now.
more, it's fine, I guess, because in the manhwa, it's like it's kind of left as a mystery as to what his power is because no one knows what he did. It happened so fast that
Yeah,
no one noticed it.
like Jesus Christ, look what he did
Yeah.
to him though.
I feel
Oh
like they
my
didn't really
god.
make a big deal out of that guy getting smoked, though, right? Like, if you check the anime, like, does anyone even care that he got smoked? Is it? Yeah, it's like not really much of a reaction.
Yeah.
It's not as shocking as like it would be in like,
Look,
I don't
even
know.
here you see where like, oh fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
There's
he's
like
going in.
no.
He's looking at Bob too. He's like, "Oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
coming for you, right?" And then look, we have Repalejo, which we see him in the anime. I think he just looks way better in the manga. Man, again, like it's this weird thing with the detail. Like in the
Mm-hmm.
anime here, look at him. He looks kind of goofy.
Yeah,
Here,
his
it's
mask kind of
like,
looks like handsome Squidward. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it does, yeah.
It's weird where it's like the mask in the manhwa looks a bit like
More
creepier. I guess I don't know.
serious. It looks more
Mm-hmm.
serious. And it's like I don't even know how you would fix this because like you could obviously tell who it is, right? It's Reflejo's mask, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just the way they do it is not good. But either way, here we get a little bit of his backstory here, right? The strongest E
Mm-hmm.
rank regular, what he was doing, where he was with Baylord Yama, right? So here it's like rumor has it he hates Fug with a passion. In the anime, they kind of left it not as ambiguous. They're like, oh no, he severed ties with Fug, and he
Mm-hmm.
wants to kill people with Fug, right? This
Yep.
is where like more it's a rumor here. We don't really know. In the anime, they're kind of saying things definitively, which is I think kind of wrong. But
Yeah. Well, at least they ended here saying that like, yeah, Baylor does want to fight Bomb
yeah, you mean Vargarv?
or sorry Vargarv.
Yeah,
I was thinking about Yama.
yeah, same shit.
Yeah, Vargarv wants to fight Bomb,
Yeah, and it's basically
but
confirmed
he's
with
like
him
the
staring him
enemy.
down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here we see Hot is already out the cuffs. In the anime, we see him actually breaking out of it, but same shit. Then he uses Emily. He's like, oh, this is where again the manhwa is giving more context, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
where I think we already saw this before too in the manhwa, ironically enough, where Shibisu was telling Hots about it. We're just getting a reminder though, which is always good. In the anime, obviously they couldn't do it, time constraints. So here, we're seeing that Hots kind of like doesn't really want to do it, but he's like, you know what, let me try it again. Anime kind of just glosses over that. He sees under the bed there's a way out, and he's gonna get the way out. Cool. We keep going. Obviously, we're back to the tournament. We see actual fighting. We saw this part in the anime where,
Mm-hmm.
what was her name? Not Angel.
Ruan May,
Ruan May, yeah, she was happy. This old guy's like, "Fuck, man, I'm losing money." Then we're seeing everyone else's reactions, and then we have Endor here.
which we
So
didn't see
we didn't
yet.
see it all, yeah. And Endor is obviously in her bikini, just beating the shit. Like, oh my god, look at this shit. So again, slightly more details, but
Yeah, this might be in the next episode. Actually, I think.
so they're probably gonna move it around. Well, no, I thought we already passed this because we
No,
saw
we
these
didn't see
groups
any of this
winning.
stuff.
We didn't
No,
see them, but we heard them winning, didn't we?
did we? I don't think so.
And this is the issue, man. We don't fucking know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, let me see.
It goes straight to Bomb's fight. So I guess
Wow.
technically they skip the order or they completely skip this part.
Yeah. I thought they showed different teams winning though, but here we could see, oh, you know who's in there, right? It's Rack. Yeah, no, they showed this, right? Because I
I guess
remember
they
they showed
did, but
Mello, they showed Gurgi, whatever the fuck.
so perhaps they just skipped over it.
Yeah, I think they just straight up skipped it.
Okay, fair enough.
And then here we see everyone like wanting to see Bomb. He has to insert the plug. Here he comes, right? And then we see, look, another detail they skipped out on.
Mm-hmm.
They have Fug written on their shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know what it was. These people, like, this looks wrong. Look at this guy's face. Something doesn't look right with this to me. And then here, it looks good. Like, here he looks fine, but in the anime, it was just really fucking weird. So here we're seeing everyone else's perspective about how, you know, what they think of Bomb, how a lot of people are kind of catching on, you know, the relationships that he has with people, and everyone's commenting on what's going on. This pan's a little weird, I'll admit. This one's a little weird image of Wong on here, but, you know, not everything's perfect, although the manhwa is way more perfect. But here we're getting a lot more things with Wangnan here, right? Wangnan is kind of describing Viol. We didn't get this in the anime at all. Viol doesn't enjoy fighting, but when there's a reason for him to fight, he gets scary, right? And then, you know, Bomb is like, oh, what are you guys doing? Also, we see a lot more destruction going on. Some hot lady, I think, right there. Again, this guy looks way better here. In the anime here, it looks like they, like, babified him. It's so weird. But here, Bomb looks upset. Another thing that Adrian kind of mentioned, I'm surprised he didn't mention it this time, but for some reason, at certain times, they just hide Bomb's eyes for no reason.
Right, yeah, I have said that before.
Yeah.
Like it's still a
So,
mystery or something.
yeah, like we're choosing, like, at some points we just forget who he is. Like, what's going on? So here
Mm-hmm.
we could see Bomb, like, oh, you know, basically asking him, like, why do you guys believe in me, right? Like, oh, I'm not really gonna help you. This is where they turn on him, right? In the anime, they didn't do this, did they?
I don't think so.
So in the anime, he kind of just like beats the shit out of all of them. They didn't really even fight back. Here, it's like, oh, what are
Mm-hmm.
you doing, right? Here, it's
Oh,
and look, oh my god, choreography, hello.
more of Bomb using the love disc, which we never see.
Yep. Oh my god. So here, everyone gets shocked, and we see a little bit of someone here. I wonder who that is, right? We saw him last time. So here we see, you know, in the anime, I kind of thought it was really weird too. I was like, wow, Bomb is really like just kind of violent and fucked up here, right? I was like, okay, it's a little violent, but I guess still within his character. But in the manhwa, we see like, okay, Bomb kind of knows they're fake followers, right? He didn't do anything for them. He's not going to do anything for them. And they're kind of looking for like a free ticket, free ride. And the second he shows, hey, I'm not helping you, they're like, okay, well, you know what? We're going to fuck you up now, right? So it doesn't look as evil what Bomb's doing. But either way, we get more details with Chang here. You know, we see what Chang thinks of this. And then we see their reaction, right? Everyone's watching. And, oh god, look, they're seeing, like, you know, wait, we know him from somewhere. Again, we saw this in the anime. And we see the crowd too, another detail we don't see there. And then the next one is probably the last one here because we're getting to the really bare ass end. I want to see if they do the Endor pose where she's just there with her cleavage out, but
Mm-hmm.
let's see. So they're figuring out where he wants to go. I'm actually a little concerned about pushing this a little bit too far forward. Okay, no, we're good. Okay. So again, we're just glossing over more details that just weren't there. Like even Endorsi saying like, "Oh yeah, I'll find him at this point. I'll question him at this point." None of that there. So here we get the interactions. I believe Jaja, like, you know, we always point out as well, she's, oh my god, the fact that I didn't have that in the manga was so sad. Jaja has a different outfit here. Kind of the same, pretty similar, but here you see interaction, and then we see you know, who's fighting next, and everyone's going on their very way, and then Jaja's getting upset because
Mm-hmm.
she's like, oh, you're supposed to be a god that helps people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Which is
if
kind of a serious moment.
yeah, in the anime, I feel like it didn't land as good as it does in the manhwa, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So here, I think okay, I'm a little hesitant to keep going forward here, but
Mm-hmm.
It's weird though because we do get some stuff, but
Yeah, we can hold off if you want to be hesitant, because I know for a fact they're probably going to show some of this stuff maybe in the next episode with like the way that they mismatch the
yeah.
things. But I do
Let
want to
me.
point out, if you want to scroll down just a little bit further, just one more panel lower,
Uh-huh.
SIU draws a mustache.
Yeah,
One
on
more
Ran.
on Ran,
Where was
yeah,
it? It was
which
a
is
little bit
just
more
like a
down.
joke panel, I think.
Yeah, like what the fuck
I
was
think
that?
that was nothing other than to just be a joke.
Okay,
I
so let me
think.
take a look here at something. I'm gonna hide the screen here for y'all viewers. Okay, no, we could still show a little bit. Let me see where I could go until. Okay, we have. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, yeah, we could show a bit more actually.
Yeah, they skip so much though. Like there's so many panels that just don't show up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know where we
Just in
can.
between.
Okay, I know where we can kind of stop then.
All
Let me
right,
let me make
yeah, go
sure with
for it.
the anime though. Yeah. Okay. So let me get this back up here. Boom. Here's the anime again. So right here, right? So we get Beta walking by, right? I don't know why Ren had the mustache, but whatever. We get Beta walking by, and then Ran is like, oh, something's up with that guy. Was it it was Ran who noticed in the anime, right? Or was it Novik?
Yep. Yeah, yeah, it was Ran.
Okay, I thought it was Novik, but either way, we have Bomb here. Bomb is kind of thinking about things. Again, stuff they skip over. We see the other fights more, stuff they skip over. Bomb is watching it. We see a little bit of Kasano and Novik, but again, not much. And then we see, like, everyone's watching, right? Everyone's fighting for something. Bomb, we did see that in the anime. He was thinking about it. And he's seeing just more games, right? Then he's questioning. I don't think we got this. He's questioning, like, what am I doing, right? We don't get these internal monologues. It's so weird why they skip
Mm-hmm.
over these. This is what we did get, though. We did get him asking for Rachel. And then, everyone's talking about the shit. Again, we see Bomb experiencing and hearing things from people. Again, we don't get that. Everyone is liking the show, and then look what happens. Oh shit, someone's here. And then we
Mm-hmm.
get back to the commentators. They talk about, okay, here's who won, here's who lost. We are
They
not going
show
to
the
ever
points.
get this. Yeah, we're not going to
Mm-hmm.
ever get this in the anime. Even in last episode, like, I question, like, oh yeah, they're betting. They're going to have an advantage. What are they betting with? Like, what are the standings? Like, these things are left so ambiguous. Here we actually see
Mm-hmm.
the standings.
Yeah.
And then here we basically go and they're saying, okay, who's gonna fight next? And we kind of see what's being heavily teased. Also, Novik is shirtless. Novik
Mm.
just took a shower. Yo, it's so sad the anime didn't get that, man. But yeah, I guess we'll leave it here. And this is pretty much where the anime ends. There's again, the anime is gonna like push things around. They're gonna skip over a lot of shit. The anime is just shit, plain and simple. Mon was better, as we've shown, and that's pretty much the comparison. 99% of the time, the man was just doing things way better. So
Yeah.
go
So if
read
you're
the
ever
manhwa.
confused, yeah, go read. Mm-hmm.
Go read the manhwa. You'll get a lot more details and a lot better
Yeah,
looking
you'll learn
stuff
a lot
too.
more.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to read it, you can always watch us read it. But either way, that's pretty much going to be the episode comparison and our review. It sucked as usual. We'll be back again to say how the rest of it probably is going to suck as usual. And you have anything else to add, Adrian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this next episode is a big episode for all those copers out there. This is a knock v Rand, so let's get that copium. This is the last bit of copium we got left, bro. So
Yeah,
save it
what
up for
about?
next week.
Well, there is one
Look,
more
mine is gone,
thing.
but I know a lot of people are saying, "Bro, just wait till Rand v
Yeah,
knock. That's where all the budget
it
went. Come
looks
on,
better
man."
in the opening, man. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't even have that was their fight in the one shot one opportunity, not
Yeah,
even the workshop.
yeah, not even the workshop, but this is where there is another. I think they're gonna get to one more fight before the anime ends, and I don't want to say because I don't want to spoil it, but you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
which one. You know
Yep,
which one.
yep. Yeah, but there's still plenty more to go. More hype moments. I mean, if there was ever a time for them to turn up,
It's here.
it would be here, right? Because this from here on out, it is mostly gonna be big scenes. So
Yeah. So
we won't have any more episodes like this one, or at least we shouldn't.
yeah, well, I
As
could
like
think of
story
one more,
progression.
but they just don't know it yet.
Yeah,
This
maybe
one
like
has
one or well,
been
yeah, maybe like one more.
yeah, one more, but that's basically it. It
Mm-hmm.
sucked. So we'll see you guys next time for the next review. We hope everyone enjoyed. And we hope you watch us at Twitch TV Technics channel, where we read the Tower of God manual live. Anyway, that's about it.